Cool. So I'm going to give a bit of an intro to Qt and Python and two different ways to use Python with Qt, PySide and PyQt, and talk a little bit about the notorious N9. So it's sort of the black sheep of the mobile world, the unloved child of Intel and Nokia, but a super cool phone. We've got three different phones. You can come and look at them after the presentations. Check them out. They're pretty cool in blue and pink and black. But we can show them later. Here. Okay. So just a quick intro into who I am. I'm kind of new back into Montreal after not living here for 10 years. I'm in the product planning team at Nokia. I've been living in Finland for a couple of years, working in the open source team, which was MIMO and turned to Migo. Mainly I worked on the product management for the multimedia applications and middleware, doing fun stuff like HTML5 video, audio, DLNA, Dolby, and working with cool companies like YouTube, Vimeo, and Dailymotion. I travel a lot. I've lived in 5 countries and worked as a hardware engineer in software product planning and all sorts of cool stuff like that.
Hi, I'm Antoine Augusta. I'm currently technical guru at Shimizu, that's my title. In my spare time, I work on a port of Mare, the HP touchpad. I'll talk more about Mare later, so if you don't know what it is, I'll explain later. I also make applications in QML/JavaScript for the N9 and the N950. The N950 is a device that you may see here, but you won't put your hands on one. I've coded a Big C application that enables you to see like stations around you. Do they have bikes? Do they have free slots? And today I'm going to show you how to code an application using QML and Python instead of JavaScript. And you'll see that it's pretty easy, and it's easy to get an actual nice application. So it's like coding for half a day. And in general, I like hacking on mobile devices. I have a N900 here that I can show you. It runs Mare actually, so you can see Mare.
So we have lots of cool demos. Okay, so I'm going to just give an overview of what Qt is. I don't know how many people in the room know that much about Qt. Yes, no, sort of a little bit. Okay, cool. So I'll go through it quickly and then just talk a little bit about the PySide project, which was part of my team in Finland, and then kind of Nokia's role with that project. So I'll go through this quickly since it seems like a lot of people know already about Qt. It came from Trolltech in Norway, was acquired by Nokia. What Nokia really wanted to look at was adding the mobility APIs into Qt. Lots of users, commercial users, open source users of Qt. The cool thing about working for Nokia and having Qt be a Nokia project is that there's in-house developers and open source developers that are sort of equally weighted. So Nokia doesn't have a heavy hand in saying this is what, priority of things getting fixed. Of course, there's a little bit of interest, but it's, I think, a really cool way of working. Qt is everywhere. Lots of different applications. Skype is made using Qt. Amazon Kindle, Google Earth. A new announcement that happened, I think, maybe a month ago was that RIM is actually going to support Qt for QNX. So that's, I think, very good news. But you can see there's lots of different devices, embedded systems, companies that use it. And then KDE is built using Qt, and the widgets are using QML. So what QML is a markup language for Qt that makes it really, really easy to prototype applications and develop them. So one thing that I guess is sort of people don't think is that they associate Qt with native applications, but you can actually embed a web view and have the interactions between web content and native content. I worked a lot on having HTML5 video. Well, I didn't actually work on it, but I worked on hopefully having it work. HTML5 video and audio be embedded into native applications. It's not quite working yet, but hopefully soon. And then again, the interesting part about Qt having history in desktop, what took a lot of work, but is actually very useful when you're using mobile devices to incorporate the concept of touch and rotation. So it wasn't actually thought of in the architecture of Qt, but is important. So this is just a quick graph to show the expectation of there being 10 billion devices in the future of all different kinds that we can't really envision now, and why open source, and in particular Qt, is good for that kind of development. It's portable, and it's also, you can make really, really simple applications like, elevator controller using Qt, up to very complicated devices. So things that are going to be added in the next release of Qt that's going to be in beta next summer. Better graphics architecture, better support for Qt Quick, which really gives this nice way of coding where you have all the complicated stuff done in Qt, and then you have all your front-end development, all your UI code done in QML. So when the development teams at Nokia were first using QML, there was, I would say, a very, very positive response, because all of a sudden it allowed the UI designers to work on prototypes and iterate really, really quickly, as opposed to having the whole application having to be rewritten. So it proved to be very powerful and well used and well loved by the UX team and also the development team. And then the next things were with source code modularization. So there's Qt is a bit of a monolith in some ways, and for Qt 5, there's more modularization added in. Okay, so the Python part to Qt. There's two projects that are pretty similar, PyQt and PySide. So PyQt, developed by Riverbank Computing. It's not open source. The toolchain isn't open. There was talk a while ago with Nokia actually working with Riverbank to just have one project. Things didn't really work out. So Nokia continued with their own project, which is PySide. The management of the project is done within the MiGo team in Helsinki, but all the development work is done in Brazil at INDT. So if you're looking to try any of this out, there's a list on the wikis of all the developers in Brazil that are working on it. And then it's fully open source. The news that came out recently is that the PySide will be an official Qt project, which it'll probably transition within the next couple of months. I don't think there's any new information there. It's just PyQt is not open source. So in summary, Qt is a good language for developing on desktop, mobiles, the next 10 billion devices, whatever they're going to be, and it's pretty easy to integrate Python. And on that, get to the cool part of the presentation, which is the demo. Oh yeah, and this just shows Nokia's involvement in Python from sort of old school stuff, like Pi for Series 60, the MIMO devices, and then into that's the N9, which runs PySide, but not PyQt. The other thing that is interesting to note is that you can likely run PySide on Android, but it's not officially been done. Or you can maybe, I don't know.
I will mention that.
Okay, cool. All right, the fun part of the presentation.
Okay, just clip that here. Okay. So, just take my notes. All right. So, what I'm gonna present first is like on what platform you can expect a PySide application to actually run. Usually, well, what runs on those devices is an OS called MeeGo. It's based on both Maemo, which was the older mobile Linux at Nokia, and they joined forces with Intel and their Moblin project at the time. It was called MeeGo. It worked for like, I don't know, a year maybe. Yeah. Just enough time to get this device out, and now they split ways. Like Nokia's going its way and Intel's going its way. And what's gonna happen is that MeeGo is gonna change names and become Tizen at Intel. And it also has an open source, a community managed version, which is called Mare. And Mare is just the middleware of the OS. So it's just like the applications that make the OS run, but no UX, no user interface. And Nemo is a community project that adds a UX on top of the Mare core. So when I said earlier that I'm porting Mare to the HP touchpad, it's really porting Nemo because I want a real UX on it. So you can check that out online. You can check the Mare project, and the Nemo project is also there. So why would you want to target those OSs specifically? Because the N9 is awesome. Because the N950 is awesome, although you can't buy it. You can also target the N900 because it now runs Mare and Nemo. And well, I've checked, and PySide is not available yet on Nemo, but it will be soon because it's just a matter of recompiling it, packaging it, I don't know. I actually may do it myself at some point, so if you have an N900, you might want to check that out. Also, it can be deployed across all those platforms, like in 5 simple steps, let's say. And it's also because Python is a first-class citizen on those platforms, whereas, for example, in Android, you have to, like, I don't know. I haven't looked specifically at how you get Python to run on Android, but it seems kind of complicated. And I'm not even mentioning iOS. So, but you can get a PySide project to run on Android. I'll talk more about that later. So first of all, before I start actually showing you some code, I need to introduce a few things, specifically what QML is and how it looks. Hold on. There you go. So what is QML? Well, QML is a declarative language designed to describe the user interface of a program. So basically, it could be like HTML. Oh, you want it bigger? Hold on. There you go. Basically, what it does is that it enables you to, with very few base elements, to describe a user interface and actually package those elements into new elements that you can use in your user interface. So here's a really quick example. So here you just declare that you're using a rectangle. It's 200 by 200, so it's a square. its color is blue. And inside this rectangle, you're going to put an image. And here you have the source of the image, where you get it from. And this part just says that you're going to center the image in the square. So it should give you an image with a blue background, I guess. I don't know if there's an image of what it does. Probably not. Anyways, that's what it should give you. So that's QML, and that's what's used on the N9 on the MeeGo devices at Nokia to build the user interface. So it's really quick to build a user interface using QML. Like for the project I'm going to show you, I built the user interface in maybe like, I don't know, less than an hour probably. Especially since Nokia gives you QML components that allow you to create a user interface that is seamless, like with all the other user interfaces in the phone. So every application looks pretty much the same with the same kind of widgets and everything. That's it. So about PySide, so as Angelique was saying, it's a Python binding for Qt. Usually what you want to do with PySide is do the graphical interface part in QML and then code the logic part in whatever language, in Python for this case. Usually like the main way you would do it would be QML and JavaScript, because that's what comes out of the box. That's it. And also, the advantage of using PySide for your project is that you can then deploy it to a desktop, to MeeGo devices, or to Android devices, which I haven't tried yet, but it's doable. Like, I've seen people do it on the internet. The thing is, you have to install like some libraries and stuff, and I don't have an Android device. So we can now show the demo. What we were trying to reach with this demo is to show both the power of QML and the power of Python. So like the main reason I use Python and I like Python is that it has lots of libraries, and you just need to import a module and you can use it to do whatever you want. So what we decided to do is that we created an application that allows the user to take a picture, and once they take the picture, they're able to share it. And what happens when you click on the share button is that it watermarks the picture with the Montreal-Python logo and uploads it to mtlpy.org. So I'll show you this a bit later. I'll start with the QML code so I can show you how easy it is to describe the interface. There you go. Can everybody see that? Yeah? Okay, so I'll get into the way the project is organized later. I'll just show you the QML part for now. Start with the main.qml, which is just like the entry point of the program. Okay. So what we have here is it's basically the first imports just say import the Nokia components in QML so that we can use them. After that, PageStack is one of Nokia's components. The way applications work on the N9 is that you get a page, and if you click on something, it usually puts a page on top of it, and then you have a page stack. And if you want to go back, you just unstack one page, you get to the page that was before that. And that's the way it works. And you usually have a toolbar at the bottom, so that's what you declare here with like items. So as you can see here, we have 3 items. We have a camera button here. It's anchored on the right, and as you can see, this looks like JavaScript. Actually, QML is compatible with JavaScript. So it just says that if you click on the button, it's gonna send, well, it's gonna start this method on this object, which is somewhere in the main page. I'll show you afterwards. This part says we have a share button that we actually don't show all the time. Here you can see that this property is bound to another property in the main page. I'll show you that afterwards too. And the last one is the back button, so we can go from, like, when we take a picture back to the camera. So I'll just show you the main page because that's more interesting. Well, I won't go into too much detail on how this whole thing works because the presentation isn't about QML. But basically, you have 2 views.